My name is Carly, and today's class will be a more gentle, restorative flow, working mostly on the ground, but we're going to actually begin standing today. So come to a firm, comfortable stance, feet hip-width distance or a little further apart so that you feel grounded and strong. Exhale, grow roots down through your feet into the earth, and then inhale, draw the energy up as you lengthen through your spine. Relax the shoulders down the back. On an inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, taking your time. Exhale, relax the shoulders. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, release the hands. We're just going to gently begin to start swinging, allowing the arms to become weightless. So they're just kind of swinging along, letting them gently tap the side of your body. And this posture, this moving asana is called Ganesha asana. Ganesha asana. Ganesha is in the Hindu mythology an elephant-headed god who is responsible for removing obstacles, clearing the path, celebrating new beginnings. So just let your trunk swing back and forth, embodying that elephant. So we focus on our breath and the movement and bringing in some positive energy, exhaling out anything that's in our way to continue on with our new semester, our new steps in life. Slowly begin to slow down your twists, allowing the arms to just flop as you begin to come to stillness until you're absolutely, completely still. When you're there, close your eyes, bring the palms together at heart center. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Release the palms to your side. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, taking your time. And then we're going to exhale, slow motion, dive forward, bending at the knees, lowering the chest, lowering the head and the neck, finding a forward fold. Heel toe the feet a few more inches apart, and take either elbow with your hands for ragdoll pose. Bend the knees deeply and lower the torso over the legs, and gently sway left and right if you'd like. Finding some release in the neck as the vertebrae expand between themselves. Come to stillness, release the arms. Bend your knees as much as you need to plant your hands on the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring the torso up in a long, straight spine, still bent in the knees. Exhale, fold. Step the right foot to the back of the mat and lower the right knee. Untuck the toes. Inhale, begin to sit up, roll the shoulders down the back. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead and press the hips forward, bending deep into that left knee as you lift the heart up. Finding a nice stretch in that right hip flexor. And then exhale, shift the weight back. Keep the foot planted, but straighten through that front left leg. Your inhale brings you slowly, gently into a deep lunge in that left knee, reaching up. Exhaling, slowly shifting the weight back, keeping that left foot grounded. Maybe the arms swing back behind you. One more time, inhale, lifting up as you reach back. Exhale, sending the hips back. And this time, lift the left toes and sink all the way back to sit back on that right heel. Square the hips by pulling that left hip back, right hip forward. On an inhale, lift the heart. And exhale, hinging at the hips, coming to a forward fold. So bringing your belly over your thighs. You might not make it too far down. You don't want to curl your spine here. Keep the heart open. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Take a deep breath in to lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, allow yourself to fold over that left leg, walking the hands away from you if you need, lowering the forehead towards the knee. And we'll just be here for about 5 rounds of breath. So in restorative practices, you generally hold one pose for several minutes sometimes, depending on the class. We'll take our time sinking into each posture. And once you've found a good spot to breathe into, find some stillness, relax down. Take a final inhale, slow exhale. Begin to sit up through the torso. And lifting up off your back heel, walk the hands forward. Bring both hands on the inside of that left leg for lizard pose. So if you want to deepen into the hip opening, you can walk that right hip back and maybe allow that left knee to splay open a little bit, or you can keep that left knee tucked right into that left arm. When you found your posture, pull the right hip forward, left hip back. Pull the heart through the shoulders, inhale, lengthen through the spine, and then exhale, begin to melt forward, maybe walking the hands towards the top of the mat, maybe lowering the forearms down, maybe you stay lifted. When you found your shape, relax the head and the neck, relax the breath. You can allow the knee to splay open, maybe rolling onto the outer edge of the left foot. And just enjoy your lizard pose. Tune into the sound of your breath. Rhythm like the ocean, the waves rolling in and back. Be here for 2 more rounds of breath. And before you come out of the posture, take an inhale, lengthening through the spine, drawing energy in, lift the gaze. Press into the hands and walk them back to the inside of your foot if you're not already there. Hug the left knee into the left arm. Tuck the back toes under and lift up onto that right foot. And then walk the hands over the right side of the mat, spinning the right heel down, coming to a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press the hips back. Shift the weight forward to the balls of the feet and lower the head and the neck. We'll be here in just a moment. On your inhale, halfway lift. Look towards the top of the mat and walk the hands back towards the top, over the left foot. Step the right foot forward to meet the left. And find your forward fold. On an inhale, come to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands down on the mat. Bend your knees as much as you need. And this time we're going to step the left foot to the back of the mat. Lower the left knee for our deep crescent lunge. Untuck the toes. When you're ready, inhale, come out. Reach the arms up and sink into that front knee as you press the hips forward. At the same time, lengthen, lift through the heart, arms reach up, gaze up. Exhale, shift the hips back. Keep that right foot planted, arms come back, lengthening through the right leg. Your inhale brings you forward, open towards the ceiling. Exhale, gently send it back. Take your time. Inhaling forward, lifting up, finding length in that left hip flexor, top of the left leg. Exhale, send it back. Keep shifting back, lift the right toes as you sink back down on that left heel. Pull that right hip back in line with the left. On an inhale, lift the heart. And exhale, begin to fold over that right leg. And each side of the body is a little bit different, so you might feel a little different on this side than you did the other, and that's natural. Work with what you got. Move with the breath. Inhale again, lift the heart, straighten through the spine, and now exhale, melt down. Allow the upper back to curl so your forehead releases towards the knee. And here's where we'll hang out for 5 or 6 rounds of breath. Tuning into that breath rhythm. Taking this opportunity to Focus in on the sensations of your body from the inside out. Inhaling that awareness. Exhaling all distractions, anything off your mat. Allow yourself to surrender down into this moment, fully present. Final inhale. Final exhale. Begin to slowly sit back up. Shift the weight forward to come up off of your back heel and bring both hands on the inside of the right foot for our lizard pose. Walk your feet apart if you need to deepen in. You can allow that right knee to splay open if you need. Wherever you're at, pull that right hip back, left hip forward, and then begin to maybe walk the hands forward, lowering down, finding your lizard pose. Remembering the side doesn't have to look like the other side. Inhale, lengthen. When you found your shape, exhale, release. Drop the head and the neck. Enjoy your stretch. Try to relax as much as possible. Letting gravity gently coax you closer to the earth. Restorative practice brings this energy, this calming energy, and flushing out of stuck places of energy, stuck emotions, by working with the subtle body. So we've got the bones and the muscles. There's also the things that wrap around the muscles and the energetic body that doesn't get quite as much attention. That's the importance of yoga and meditation and other forms of complementary practices that allow us to get deeper beyond the gross body. Take a final inhale in the lizard. Slow exhale out. Prepare to lift by just lifting your gaze, bringing the hands to the mat, pressing them in. Walk your hands back to the inside of the foot. Squeeze that right knee in towards the right leg, tuck the back toes, and walk the hands over the left side of the mat, finding a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, exhale, fold. Between the legs, sending the hips back, releasing the head down. We'll be here for just a couple breaths. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening through the spine, tenting up on the fingertips. Walk the hands back over to the top of the mat. Frame your front foot with your hands. Shift the weight forward, step to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, plant your hands, and step the feet all the way back, lower down onto your belly. Bring the hands in line with the chest, squeeze the elbows in, forehead to the mat, tops of the feet press into the mat. We're gonna take 3 rounds of cobra pose. So on an inhale, press the tops of the feet down until the knees lift, and inhale, lift the chest. Just a couple breaths. And stay here. Maybe lift a little higher if you'd like. Keep the gaze straight down the nose. One more inhale. Lower the forehead on the exhale, and then bring one side of the face to the mat, resting on one cheek. You can lengthen the arms next to you. We'll spend a few breaths of rest here. On your next inhale, bring the chin or the forehead to the mat. Bring the palms next to the chest. Squeeze the elbows in towards each other. Tops of the feet press into the mat. Preparing for our second cobra. Inhale, pull yourself forward as you lift the heart off the mat. Again, gaze down the nose, lengthening through the back of the neck. And breathe easy. Final inhale. Slowly lower on the exhale and lower the other cheek, the other side of the face to the mat. Relax the arms at your side. Two more breaths here. And then bringing the chin or the forehead back to the center of the mat. Palms next to you. Inhale, pull forward as you lift up. Relax the shoulders down the back. Tops of the feet on the mat. Take a full inhale, breathing in as much as you can. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Lower the forehead to the mat. Allow the hands to come next to you. Bend the knees. And windshield wiper the feet left and right. It'll feel really good on your low back. And then bring the feet back to center. Slowly lower them down. Bring the hands next to you. Gently press up and back to child's pose. We're going to take the wide-legged version. So bring the big toes to touch and widen the knees to the edges of your mat. Shift the hips back. Walk the arms forward. Lower the forehead to the mat. And begin to release down, finding the tailbone heavy, reaching towards the earth. Filling up on the inhale, feel the back of the lungs expand. And the chest gently compress on the exhale. Quiet the fingers and the hands. Relax the jaw. And on your exhale, surrender down a little deeper, allowing the mind to stay present with the body. To move through the obstacle course of life, to deal with the trials and challenges, the first step is kind of surrendering down to it and recognizing, accepting that this is life. This is our current present moment. There's no escape from it. You just got to go through it. Child's pose is a great embodiment of that practice of acceptance, surrender, starting exactly where you're at, taking a few quiet moments to ground down and center. It's those quiet moments that allow us to be able to move forward with peaceful power. We'll spend about 3 more rounds of breath here. On your final inhale, take the deepest breath in you can. Open mouth, exhale, letting it out. Slowly roll the spine up to sit. Bringing the knees together. And then shifting the hips to one side and extending the legs long out in front of you. And then we're going to open the legs, taking a wide-legged forward fold. So don't start too wide. You want to keep them somewhat in whatever range of motion you have for your hips. You can always widen more if you need. So sitting up tall, again, grounding down. So feel the sitting bones rooting into the earth. Lengthen through the spine, relax the shoulder blades down. Inhale, lift the sternum to meet the chin as you tuck the chin, and then lift the arms. Exhale, hinging at the hips, begin to bring the heart forward, lower the hands between the legs. Tent the fingertips up, inhale one more time, lengthening through the spine, and then exhale, now we melt forward, allowing the upper back to curl as the head slowly drops. Release everything towards the earth. If you want to widen your legs a little more to intensify the posture, you can just go inch by inch, not too far. Spend a few breaths there. If that feels good, stay in there. Otherwise, gently heel toe the feet back in. Find your place to hold the posture, and then let go. Be here for 3 or 4 more rounds of breath. On the final inhale, take in as much air as you can. Maybe even feeling the back lift you up. Open mouth, exhale. Come to a halfway lift, so just lifting the gaze, tenting the fingertips up, and walk the hands over the left side until you find your left leg. Lengthen through the spine, sitting up on the inhale, and then exhale, grabbing onto your ankle or your shin for the exhale. Spending a few rounds of breath to the side. And then inhale, lift the gaze. Release the hands to the inside of the foot and walk the hands back through center all the way towards the right side. Bring your hands on either side of the right leg. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, lift the chest, and then exhale, fold over that right leg. Forehead towards your knee. Maybe walking the hands in to grab onto the foot or the ankle. And relaxing down. On an inhale, lift the gaze. Walk the hands back to the center line of your forward fold. And then tuck the chin, curling the spine, roll up to sit. Take your time. Exaggerate the movement. Lift the heart, roll the shoulders down the back, lift the gaze. And bring the soles of the feet together. We'll take a gentle up and down with the knees. Not too fast, not too high, not too low. Just a little movement. You can either hold your ankles or you can prop yourself up on either side, your hands on either side of your hips if that feels better. On your next inhale, bring the knees together. Prop your hands up behind your hips and gently lower the knees to the right. Gaze to the left. And breathe here. If you want to deepen your stretch, you can extend that left leg long over the knee and maybe crossing. Lengthening out through the leg, pointing the toe, finding the spot that works. Maybe that doesn't work and you put it back. It's okay. Just find what spot works. 2 more breaths here on this side. And then inhale back to center, lifting the knees. Take a deep breath in, lift the heart. And exhale, lower the knees to the left as you gaze to the right. Pull the right shoulder back. Keep looking back over the shoulder. Finding the twist. Maybe extending the right leg long. See how that feels. If it works on this side. Soft in the face. 2 more breaths here. And inhale the knees up, back to center. And slowly lower to your back. Taking your time. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, bring the knees in towards your chest and wrap the arms around the shins as you draw the knees in. Tuck the chin, lengthening through the spine, pressing the shoulder blades into the mat. Breathe here. Slowly begin to release the left leg long, keeping that right knee tucked in. Find a breath in here. Slow exhale. And then slowly begin to drop that right knee to the right side, opening the hip. You can either use your hand to gently guide that leg down. Maybe you want to plant the left palm down on the mat next to you on the left to hold yourself down as you allow that right hip to open. And then take that hand in the crease of the knee and the thigh, or the hamstring, the back of the thigh there. And then slowly begin to extend that right leg long. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, extend the leg long, straightening through that right leg, pressing out to the heel. Exhale, bend the knee. Last time. Inhale, extend long. Exhale, bending the knee, pulling that heel back in. And then draw that right knee back to center. Extend the leg long towards the sky, pressing up through the heel, and then slowly lower that right leg down to meet the left. Slow motion, take your time. Inhale, bend the left knee. Squeeze that left knee in towards your chest. Breath in here, breath out. And then with the left hand holding on to that left knee, slowly open the left hip towards your side, lowering the knee towards the left. Right palm stays planted on the other side to help hold you up. Breathe in here. Relax the face, shoulder blades are still on the mat. And then with that left hand, place it in the crease between the knee. On an inhale, slowly lengthen through that leg, straighten the leg, press out through the heel. Exhale, bend the knee, heel comes in. Inhale to extend. Exhale, bending the knee back in. Last time, inhale to extend. Exhale, tuck that heel in, bending the knee. And gently bring that left knee back to center. And extend the leg long towards the sky. Bring the flat foot towards the ceiling, press out through the heel, and then slowly lower that leg down to the mat. Taking your time. Point the toes. Inhale, reach up overhead for a stretch. Exhale, bring your hands down next to you. And bring the soles of the feet together, widening the knees. You can bring them in as much as you need. The closer in you bring your heels, the more intense the stretch. So you can play around with where you want to feel this gentle release and opening. Find a spot that you want to work with for a minute or so. And then you have a couple options for your arms. You can take cactus arms, so the elbows at 90-degree angles and the palms facing up. Your arms can be down at your side. What I recommend is one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, beginning to feel the connection between the heartbeat and the breath, the breathing in and the breathing out. Or any other arm variation, wherever your arms kind of feel naturally, that's generally a good spot to stay in. So quiet the arms into the area that you'd like to leave them for a moment. Begin to settle into the posture, maybe even closing the eyes. Relax the jaw and the face. Relax the inner legs and the knees. Feel the warmth between the soles of the feet, the palms of the hands as they rest on your body or on the mat. Taking full deep inhales. Expelling out all the air on the exhales. If you find your mind wandering, just cue it back to focusing on the breath. Noticing the temperature of the air on your skin, the sensations within the body. And tuning into where you can soften and release a little more. We'll take 3 final rounds of breath in this posture. On your final inhale, begin to draw the knees together slowly. Bending at the knees, walking the heels back in. Inhale the arms up overhead. And stretch. Exhale them down to your side. Heel toe the feet to the edges of the mat, allowing the knees to gently fall in towards each other. Feel that opposing opening. Maybe you feel it in the low back. And just a few breaths here. On your inhale, slowly lift the knees, plant the feet, walk the heels back in towards each other. And we'll take one bridge pose, so walk the heels in towards your hips. You should be able to just brush your heels with the fingertips. Plant the palms down, keep some space between the legs, so energize the legs, building some strength. Tuck the chin. Press the palms into the mat, and on an inhale, lifting from the core. So imagining someone's got a hook around your belly button and just gently lifts you up. Inhale, lift the hips off the mat. Pressing into the thighs, relax the butt. Soften through the face. If you'd like to take your bridge up a little bit higher, clasp your fingertips together underneath your spine. Wiggle the shoulder blades together, bringing the forearms flat onto the mat. And then pressing up a little higher. This is optional. You can stay in your regular bridge or lower at any point. Keep some length in the neck. Keep looking straight ahead. Feet pressing into the mat. Active in the legs. A little bit more active posture for our restorative. It still feels so good to open the heart space like this. Breathe it in. Exhale it out. Inhale, lift a little higher into the bridge. Release the hands and roll down between the shoulders. Mid back like a zipper closing all the way down. And take a few windshield wipers, dropping the knees to one side and then the other. And bringing the knees to stillness, we'll take a supine figure four. Lift the right heel, cross it over the left ankle. And the right ankle over the left knee. Like you're crossing your legs if you were sitting in a chair. Press that right knee away from you. And if you'd like to deepen the stretch, lift that left foot, drawing the legs in towards your chest. Reach between the opening of your leg and grab onto your left leg and gently pull that left knee in towards your chest. Again, energetically pressing that right knee away. Tuck the chin to lengthen the back onto the mat. Relax the shoulders. Relax the jaw. And breathe. See if you can find some absolute stillness here. The only thing moving is the breath, chest rising and falling. Then bring your awareness to the right foot. And slowly drop your hips and your legs over to the left side so that right foot is going to plant on the mat to your left. Extend the right arm out long next to you and gaze over your right shoulder for a twist. Deep inhales, extended exhales, following the breath out through the nose, feeling the warm air pass through the nostrils. Be here for just a few more rounds. See if you can relax the arms and the legs a little more. And inhale, draw the gaze up towards the ceiling. Bring the knees back to center. And gently switch the crossing of the legs. This time, lift the left heel, cross it over the right knee. Press the left knee away. And you can hang out here or begin to lift that right leg off the mat. Reach between the opening, pull that right leg down gently towards you as you gently press the left knee away. Tuck the chin, allow the shoulder blades to ground down on the mat, lengthening through the spine. Settle into complete stillness, including your gaze. Just finding one spot to stare at. And then taking notice of that left foot, gently lower the hips and the legs towards the right. So that left foot slowly makes its way to the floor. So your legs are twisted to the right. Extend your left arm long, look over your left shoulder at your left hand. Relax down here into a twist. Slow, steady breaths. Feel the earth, the ground supporting you. Allow yourself these moments of rest. Again, I invite you to let go of any thoughts of what's coming next or what came before. Really enjoy this moment, this posture. Take a final round of breath here. Inhale the gaze back to center. Bring the knees up. Uncross the legs. Tuck the knees in towards your chest. Wrap the arms around the shins. Tuck into a little ball. Curling the forehead up towards the knees. On your exhale, slowly roll back down. Keeping the knees bent, reach between the legs to grab either your ankles, your toes if you can grab them. Finding happy baby pose. So widen the legs and draw the knees down towards the floor by pulling the shoulders down the back. Lengthening through the spine. Feet are flat facing the ceiling. And then take a gentle rock left and right. See how that feels. Begin to add in any other little movements that might feel good. Maybe lengthening out one leg on the rocking to the one side and the other. Maybe bring your knees closer together and extend the legs long. Any other variation, whatever makes your baby happy. Take some final movements. And then release the feet, bring the knees in, rolling into a ball one final time, lifting the forehead to the knees, tucking in, curling into yourself. Feeling the energy swirling as you give effort to keep yourself tucked in. Find a big inhale, deep breath. Keep sipping in a little bit more air. Open mouth, exhale. Slowly uncurl your ball, releasing the legs down. Finding our final Shavasana. The reason why we all come to yoga. This peaceful rest, this corpse pose. There's no agenda, there's no effort, there's no doing. Just let it all become heavy and soft. You are safe, you're comfortable, you are warm, and you are free. Relax the awareness of the breath. Allow the shoulders and the hips to gently melt into the earth. Allow your thoughts to gently fade into the periphery. And as you find your body at complete peace, may your heart and your mind follow. Allow yourself to drift away here. Not worrying about the time. I'll reawaken you when we're ready to come back. Slowly begin to deepen the inhales. Releasing more on the exhales. Begin to become a little more aware of the feeling of your body on the mat, your presence in your space. Begin to gently bring some small movements to the body. Restoring a little movements and blood flow to the hands and the feet, the legs and the arms. Inhaling into the torso. Begin to bend into the knees. Lower them to one side, curling into yourself, rolling to one side, and spending just a few more moments here. Taking your time with the most mindful movements you can. And gently begin to press yourself up to a comfortable seat in the center of the mat. Keeping a relaxed gaze or eyes closed. Bring the palms facing down onto the knees. Roll the shoulders up towards the ears and exhaling down the back. Exhaling, dropping the shoulders, lengthen through the spine. Bring the palms together at heart center. And lower the gaze towards the tops of the fingertips. And close out today's practice with one Om. Feel free to just receive. You're welcome to chant along. And take a deep breath in for Om. Inhale and exhale. Release the palms. Release the Om. Gently lift the gaze. Take your time getting up from your practice. Take care of yourselves. Remember, you can always come back to the breath, to any gentle movements that feel good and bring you this sense of peace. Thank you for sharing these few classes with me. I wish you the best in this next academic year. Take care.